Hello, everybody. Here we are. It's Friday. You notice I got on my red shirt. I'm doing that for what is known as Red Friday, RED, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. I'm just doing it along with a lot of other people because we've got people who are deployed in defense of this nation, and it's kind of a reminder that they're out there. It also reminds us that we should be, as Christians, praying for them and praying for their families who are separated from them while they are deployed and doing the job that is taken to keep this nation safe with the help of the Lord. I'm going to start out on a series of studies today with the help of the Lord, and it's going to be on the title. If you looked at it, is the a hedge. Now, there's several things that we will look to get out of this. I don't know how far the Lord will take us, and but I do know that it's going to take more than one or two uh, sessions to get through it because of the way that I'm feeling led right now to be studying this. And I want to thank one of my great nieces, Jessica, who sent me a text. And in her Bible study, they were studying about the hedge and that was said about Job. And it was thought provoking and kind of stirred me up a little bit, and I got praying about it, and I thought maybe this would be a good series for us to get into. So y'all be in prayer about it. Now, the word hedge, Hedge, uh, is used three times in the Old Testament King James Version Bible. Uh, it, the pronunciation of the Hebrew word that the English word hedge is based on or translated from is pronounced sook, like took, but with an S. And Strong's concordance says that it's a primitive root, and it means to entwine, to shut in for a formation to keep things in a certain order. It's protection or restraint when it's used in that manner. Fence, if it's used as a verb, and it's meant to fence something or to hedge up. Now, the three times that it's used in the Old Testament, in the King James version, two of them are in Job, and we're going to read them in just a few minutes. But the other one is in the book of Hosea, chapter 2 and verse 6. And I'm just going to read that verse. And it is used in Hosea as a verb. And this is a warning that God is given to Israel because they as a nation had strayed from him and been worshiping idols. And he's referring to, when we get in there, I'm going to go ahead and read this verse quickly. It's not going to be the basis of our study for today, but I want to go ahead and get it out of the way. Hosea 2 and 6 says, "Therefore, behold," and that means look at something strongly and be aware of what you're looking at. "I will hedge up thy way with thorns and make a wall that she shall not find her path." Now, I want you to understand that the pronoun she there is used to represent the nation of Israel because, as I said, this was written because they were disobedient and been chasing after strange gods to the point that the Lord was very, very tired of it. He'd warned them time and time again. But he said he would hedge up their way. The way is the way that we were traveling, a highway or a street or a path or whatever, that he would hedge up the way with thorns. Now, any of you's been over here running around in South Carolina out in the woods, There's such things as briars, and then there's such things as thorns. And thorns are briars on steroids, so to speak. I mean, they're long, they're pointed, they will hurt you when you run into them. And so this is something that the Lord is telling Israel He's going to put in their way, not to take care of them and not to help them, but to punish them and to hold them back from what they are doing, willfully sinning against Him, and make a wall, and then to where they won't even be able to find their way, let alone travel in their way. When He says not find their path. Okay, we're going to jump in here, Job chapter 1. And I'm going to jump through a couple of verses here and get to our main text verses, which is 10 and 11 of chapter 1 in the book of Job. And starting out, verse 1 said, there was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and the man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil. Eschewed means hates evil. And Job was a wealthy man. Job was really blessed by the Lord. We're going to, and a lot of people try to say this is like a parable, Old Testament parable, or a story about something that might have happened. But when the Bible tells us there was a man, that tells us it's a specific person, and it gives us his name, and it tells you where they were. This tells me this is not a made-up story. This actually happened. We're going to drop on down here. Verse 6 said, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. We'll come back and talk about that maybe later in the series, but not today. And the Lord said unto Satan, whence comest thou? In other words, he's asking Satan, what are you doing here? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down it. Now, he done that way back then, and he does it now. He's out there looking for people that he can destroy. I've said a long time ago, Satan don't want your soul. He just don't want Jesus to have it. And that's what he's doing. He's trying to stir up the mischief and all the problems that he can, and he is really good at doing it. But anyway, going on. Verse 8 said, and the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? And there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. And we'll come back and talk about in another series about why the Lord done that. Why he offered up Job as an example when Satan was looking for somebody to have give problems to, and especially with him being an upright man and a good man. The Lord has reasons for doing the things he does. Sometimes we don't understand them. We just have to have faith in the fact that he knows what he's doing and they're right. Verse 9 says, then Satan answered the Lord and said, doth Job fear God for naught or for nothing? Hast not thou made an hedge about him and about his house and about all that he hath on every side? Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thine hand now and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. In other words, Satan's telling God that he thinks the only reason that Job's following so closely and being so obedient to God is because he has blessed him so much. He's given him so many things that he is, as they used to say around here, he's riding in high cotton, meaning everything's going good for him. And Satan's saying, if it wasn't so, then I would he wouldn't be so good, and he would not fear you for because it would change him when his way got rough. And he's telling him, put your forth hand and touch all that he hath, and he'll curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power. In other words, he's giving Satan the right to test him. And only upon himself but not only on himself put not thy hand. In other words, you can take his stuff, but don't you touch him. So Satan went forth from the presence of the Lord, and that was a day when his sons and daughters were eating and drinking wine in their eldest brother's house. And there came a messenger unto Job and said, the oxen were plowing and the asses feeding beside them, and the Sabaeans fell upon them and took them away. Yea, they have slain the servants with the edge of the sword, and only I am escaped alone. While he was speaking, there's another man come up and told him that the fire of God burned up the sheep and the servants and consumed them, and only he was the one that left to come to escape and come tell him. And while he was speaking, there was another that said the Chaldeans had made three bands, fell upon the camels, carried them away, and yea, slain the servants with the edge of the sword. And only I escaped alone to tell you. When everything starts happening all at one time, it's really overwhelming. While he was yet speaking, there came another and said, thy sons and thy daughters were eating and drinking wine with their eldest in their eldest brother's house, and behold, there came a great wind from the wilderness and smote the four corners of the house, and it fell upon the young men, and they are dead. And only I am alone, escaped alone to tell thee. And then Job arose and rent his mantle, in other words, his clothing, shaved his head, fell down on the ground, and worshiped. And he said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. And the Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away, and blessed be the name of the Lord. In all this, Job sinned not, nor charged God foolishly. Now that tells us a whole lot about the character of Job. Now this is the introduction into this, and it's a familiar story. A lot of folks have heard it taught and preached and studied it. But we're going to get back in here on Monday with the help of the Lord, and if the Lord don't come back first, and we're going to study it out and kind of go into what the hedge is, what the purpose is, and find out do we have a hedge? Do the hedges still exist? And so if this seems like something that you're interested in, be watching for us. And if the Lord is willing, I'll try to start back Monday, and we'll get on into the meat of it. And continue on. Remember, today's a day of salvation. If you don't know the Lord, please accept him. Please get on your knees and pray that he'll come into your heart and save you before it's everlasting too late. And if you know the Lord as your personal Savior, tell somebody else about him. I love you. The Lord loves you, and I hope you have a good day.